Great to get a last-minute checkup with State Senator Tom Davis as he gets ready for a very busy post-Heritage Week in the state legislature. Senator, you guys are getting ready to go back into session to do some important things.
Right. It's a Monday today, as you say, the day after the Heritage and the day after Easter. And we're meeting in special session today in the Senate beginning at noon to take up the question of whether or not the state treasurer, Curtis Loftis, should be removed from office for failure to discharge his duties as state treasurer. We go in at noon. There'll be two senators that will make the case against Treasurer Loftis. Treasurer Loftis will then have 3 hours to respond. And then each of the 46 senators that are sitting essentially as jurors in the case will have 10 minutes to ask questions. And then after the conclusion of that, there'll be a vote taken, and it will take a 2/3 vote of the Senate to decide whether to remove Treasurer Loftis from office. And if there's a 2/3 vote of the Senate to do so, the matter will then move to the House. And of course, the House would also have to concur by a 2/3 vote in order for him to be removed. So it's a very serious charge relating back to about 7 years ago, a $1.8 billion accounting error that was made into the state's books that wasn't disclosed until about a year ago. And so it's important that we give Treasurer Loftis a chance to be heard, to explain himself. He's got very good lawyers that will help provide context, and I'm going into it with an open mind, and hopefully we can do the right thing by both him and the people of South Carolina.
Okay, this is also now beginning the sprint to the finish of the session. It seems like just yesterday we were just getting cranked up and started, and now what, 3 weeks left? That's all? Is there a crossover date like there has been in the past?
Not in a procedural sense, but in a practical sense. I mean, we're at the point now where if a bill has not passed the House and moved to the Senate, or conversely has not passed the Senate and moved to the House, it's likely not to be taken up before we adjourn the first week in May. But there are three important bills that are outstanding that have passed both the House and the Senate and now need to be reconciled in a conference committee. The school choice bill being one of those. Tort reform or liquor liability reform being another one of those. And then a comprehensive energy bill has both passed the House and the Senate. So three major pieces of legislation. The versions passed by the House and the Senate needs to be reconciled and then voted on by the bodies and then sent to the governor if there can be a consensus reached. So, and then in addition to that, we're in the Senate this week. We're taking up the budget. We're going to pass the Senate version of the budget and send that back to the House. And the House will then either non-concur or accept what the Senate has done, most likely non-concur, which will mean that the budget also gets sent to a conference committee. So, we'll have three major pieces of legislation: the Appropriations Act, the school choice bill, tort reform, and the energy bill will all be in conference committee that we need to reconcile before the second Thursday in May, which is when we adjourn. So a lot of work to be done.
Is there some sort of machinations that might go on where those conference committees can meet, not chewing up official legislative time, and you guys may be coming back in the summer to wrap this up, or does it need to get done by the Thursday?
That's a good point. We are in the first year of a 2-year session, so it's not like if we don't get something passed this year, it doesn't mean that it's dead. It'll pick up in the same point in January when we reconvene. Obviously, we need to pass the budget. I mean, that goes into effect July 1, so we need to get that done. And I also think it's extremely important that we pass the energy bill. We have a supply side problem in regard to generation. We need to promote natural gas. We need to promote renewables, nuclear, a lot of things we need to do to facilitate more power getting onto the grid. So those are two must do, in my opinions. It would be the budget, which takes effect July 1, and then that energy bill.
All right. Well, good luck with all of that. You're going to have a very busy next 3 weeks up in Columbia. Thank you so much for joining us, State Senator Tom Davis. We appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
We'll be back with more RBC Heritage Talk when the WHHI Daily News continues.